Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What's up and what's going on, traders? Welcome back and happy hump day. Yeah, you guys can't see my beautiful face, but y'all can hear my beautiful voice, and I guess that's all that matters. I'm having some PC issues. It crashed a couple times this morning. Webcam's not working, so you guys just don't get to see my beautiful face today, but it's all good. So, hit me with a big ol' Alpha Day Trading. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and dive right into it. We're about 15 minutes behind, again, dealing with some computer issues today. So we're just going to hit it hard. We're going to dive into exactly what we got going on. Make sure you guys are fully prepared for the day, ready to rock and roll. And then I'm sure we'll have a little bit of time to review some of your stocks for today as well. So again, get those posted inside of chat as soon as we're done reviewing my top stocks for today, making sure that you guys are prepared. Like I said, we will go ahead and dive into some of your stocks as well, have a chance to review those, and make sure you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. All right. Good morning, Chelsea, Joey, Mr. Steve. Good morning. Anita's in the house, ready to rock and roll. Anthony's been here early on. William and Stir, Trader Adam. Good morning, everybody inside the chat. Let's rock and roll. Let's have a fun day. Let's have an amazing day, and let's lock in some amazing profits, guys. So what I want to start with is going to be the SPY, right? What do we know we got going on today, right? Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today, guys, right? You got some data dropping around 9:15, nothing crazy. You got more data right around 10:30. Again, nothing crazy. It's of low importance, but high importance events today. We do have FOMC minutes dropping at 2 p.m. Eastern. So what do we know on days like today? Days where we have 2 p.m. economic data drops, whether that's a Fed interest rate decision, whether that's, the press conference, Fed members speaking, or FOMC minutes. We know that, historically, the market tends to be slower and choppier leading up to these later in the day events, such as today, FOMC at 2 p.m. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption for myself that the SPY is probably going to be slow and choppy. So knowing that the SPY may be slow and choppy and challenging, do I really want to put all of my focus on the SPY today? I do not. I want to place my focus elsewhere on other stocks that have really good opportunity as well. So just know 2 p.m. FOMC minutes dropping, then we'll see some volatility and volume. Ideally, really move back into the market at that point in time. So just expect slower, choppier, and more challenging market conditions. Okay, that should be how you really approach the market. That's how I'm approaching the market, right? Just to kind of keep me away from trading the SPY and getting chopped out of positions. Okay. I'm going to put my focus on Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, Apple. These stocks look great. Technicals are solid, great potential today. But here's the deal. If I'm wrong, if the SPY is ripping, right? If the SPY is dumping and we have some volatility, it's okay. I'm still prepared. And if the market is actually going to move leading up to 2 o'clock, then at that point in time, we make that assessment. If there's any opportunity, we'll look to take those trades. But I'm going to come into the market with the mindset of slower, choppier conditions within the SPY and the Q. So I'm going to put a lot of my focus on these other stocks that have really good potential, such as Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, and Apple. All right, but let's go ahead and take a deep dive into the SPY. Make sure you guys are all set, ready to rock. Make sure you're prepared and that you have your key levels really identified, just in case we see some great action and just in case we see some good opportunity today, right? So let's go ahead and start with marking up yesterday's low of day and yesterday's close, okay? Mark up that level. It's also right around the gap level as well. Remember, we had that gap target to the short side on the SPY, the last couple of days. We actually came down yesterday and closed the gap to the penny down around that 442.50, okay? So we closed that gap. Okay, we came into these prior highs, this prior high prior to the gap up. That's where we came down to yesterday. So I would go ahead and just mark up yesterday's low of day, yesterday's close. It's also in line with this prior resistance and that high a day prior to the gap up. So this is going to be a very key level of support or resistance today here on the SPY. Is going to be this zone between 442.30 and 442.88 here on the SPY. Okay, so if we hold this level as support, we could see a nice push. We could see a nice bounce. Where to? I would say back up towards around like 444.90. Okay, that was the gap up low of day, and that was the same level that was respected several times last week. low of day, bounce, low of day, bounce, low of day, bounce. We hit that level several times last week, respecting that 444.90. So that's going to be a next overhead level of resistance. If we do hold this lower zone of support, we could see a nice push, a nice bounce back up towards around that 444.90 to 445 level. And if we ever see the SPY breaking through that level of resistance, then we could see it come back up towards around yesterday's open and yesterday's high a day, right? Which also is in line with Friday's high a day. It's also in line with not last Friday, but the Friday before that, low of day as well. So we can see we have a few touch points in that zone. All right. And I identified it simply because it's yesterday's open and yesterday's high a day, but we have a few other touch points at that zone as well. So that upper level of resistance would be between 446.26 up to around 446.63 if we are able to break that 444.90 level. All right. So these are going to be your three key levels of support, resistance, and then that zone of resistance overhead back up towards around yesterday's high a day and yesterday's open. Right. And then your lower level of support today here on the SPY would be down towards around 440. We're going to call it 440. It's actually a little bit lower. It's the zone between, 439.70 and 439.85. We can pretty much call it 440 because 440 is a psychological level of support. So if we do start dropping on off, I would expect to see it come down towards around 440 and maybe a little bit lower into that zone. Again, between that 439.65 and 439.85 level. All right. So we have all of our key levels identified right here from the daily. Now let's go take a look at the SPY intraday and see what we're doing. Well, would you look at that? We've come down into that zone of support several times and we've bounced, right? We came down and bounced one time, two times, 3, 4, 5 different times at or in that zone, respecting it as support. What are we doing right now here on the SPY? We're actually falling below that zone. Okay. So if we open below that zone, it's going to be resistance, not support, because we're going to be gapping down below that level. So if we do actually see a gap down today, which right now we will be gapping down. Yesterday we closed at 442.89. Right now we're at 442.26. So if we open right now, right here, we're gapping down about 60 cents. Okay. I want to see it gap down maybe a little bit more. Maybe gap down right here. Right. Nice gap down below yesterday's low of day and yesterday's close. Come back into that zone, stay below it as resistance, roll on over, and then start to drop on off. Where to? That 440 level. All right. So right now at this point in time, if the SPY does open below this zone, it's going to be more or less resistance. If we see it push on up into that level, top on out, roll on over, we can look to get short down towards around 440 today here on the SPY. But if for any reason we see the SPY opening in this zone or actually gapping above that zone, we could see it turn into great support and actually see a nice push to the upside out of that zone, back up towards around that 444.90, then up towards around that 446.25 to 446.65 zone, way up here, that zone that we identified on the daily, right? So it really just comes down to what is the SPY going to do between that 442.30 and 442.88 level, right? Are we going to gap below it? Is it going to turn resistance? If so, we know we can take puts down the 440, okay? Or are we actually going to hold this level as support? If so, we know we can play calls up towards around 444.90 today here on the SPY, guys. So your line in the sand is going to be this zone of support / resistance, right? If we're below it, it's resistance. We're above it, we can see it turn support. But this zone is going to be your line in the sand. And again, if you guys are just now tuning in, that's between 442.30 and 442.88. That is going to be your key level to be paying attention to today. All right, guys. If we're below it, we see it turning in resistance. We play puts down to 440. If we're above it, we see it holding a support. We play calls to 444.90. Pretty simple stuff here today with the SPY, guys. Okay, but let's go ahead and take a deeper dive into Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, and Apple, as that's where most of my focus is going to be, right? So Tesla actually closed this gap, that same gap that we've been targeting since like July 24th, July 25th, and we've been short bias on Tesla to come on down and close this daily gap. Yesterday, we actually closed the daily gap, but Tesla right now is gapping down again this morning. We're down about 2% here in pre-market. So we're officially below that zone. We're cracking other levels of support, and we're still working our way down. Take a look at Tesla, guys. We actually have another gap that could get filled here on Tesla down towards around 222 to 223. We have the slight gap that was created from June 6th in the June 7th. We have the high of day right around 221.92, gap up low of day right around that 223 level. So we have a little daily gap that Tesla could be filling. And check it out in pre-market. We're getting pretty close to actually filling that gap, right? So that's going to be our target to the short side today if we see Tesla setting up for a really nice short. And there's a couple other levels that I want you guys paying attention to. All right. I want you to go back and look at this red day from June 7th. Okay. I want you to go ahead and mark up that candle's open, mark up that candle's high a day. These are going to be some levels of light support and light resistance just off of that candle's open and high a day, right? Could we just fade and fall all the way down and close this gap? Absolutely. But could there be some pit stops along the way down? Areas that we could bounce and hold on up? Absolutely. What are those levels? That's going to be 228, that candle's open, and then 230.84, that candle high a day. Okay, those are going to be some levels of light support resistance. Your main level of resistance will be back up between yesterday's low of day and yesterday's close. And your main level of support, our main target to the short side today, is that gap fill between 221.90 and 223. So all we need to do is just wait for some solid intraday confirmation to get short on Tesla, right? Could it be pushing back up into that support or that resistance level of 230.84, and then we get that drop on off? Very well could be. Could Tesla push all the way back up into yesterday's low of day and close before rolling on over? Absolutely, right? We just got to sit back and be very, very patient and wait for Tesla to give us, a solid reason to get short. So again, your main level of resistance is going to be off of yesterday's low of day and yesterday's close. That zone is between 232.60 and call it 233, your key level of resistance. If for any reason we see Tesla up at that level and we start rolling on over, I absolutely want to be getting short. But if we ever see a great setup at one of these two levels right here intraday, we could have a short opportunity because we may not get back up towards around that upper zone of resistance. So right now we have a light support level of 228. We have a light resistance level up towards around 230.84. Okay, those are going to be your two initial levels of support resistance right now at this point in time. Your key level up here off yesterday's low of day and yesterday's close. And we know that we have potential to fade and fall all the way down and close that daily gap between 222 and 223. And that's going to be my main target today if we have a reason to get shorts here on Tesla. But I do like Tesla. It's setting up, fading and falling, gapping down another 2% this morning. And assuming we push on up, hold below one of these levels, we can definitely get a great opportunity to take Tesla short on down to close that daily gap, guys. So I definitely want to be keeping a lot of focus here today on Tesla. And Amazon's looking very good as well, guys. Take a look at Amazon. Same thing. We have a big daily gap that we could start filling today here on Amazon. The gap is actually between 130 and 137. Right? This was the high a day prior to the gap up, right? And then we have all of this daily support that's been created right around that 137.25. So the gap close would actually put you all the way down towards around 130. But what we can see is if we take a look left, we're going to have some support right around this prior daily highs, right? We had some daily resistance right around 133.87 before we rolled on over. Okay, so I know that an official gap fill is down at 130. But when I look left, I also see prior daily resistance that could absolutely turn into some intraday support. So if I'm looking to get short, I have a main target to close the gap down around 130. But my first price target and my first profit target will be off these daily highs right around 133.87. That would be my first target. So what I'm really looking for today is just, one of two things, right? To really get confirmation for a trade. It could be a long, it could be a short. I like the short opportunity. There's a lot of great potential to fade and fall to the downside today. But here's the deal. If we don't fall below this daily support level and actually enter the gap zone, we're not going to fade and fall and close the gap, right? We could actually hold this 137.25 on up as support and see a nice bounce. So if that's what we see today, is Amazon holding this 137.25 and we start to see it hold and bounce, we can look to play some calls back up towards around 140 here on Amazon. All right. So if we do hold above 137.25, if we fail to crack below it, I would be looking to play some calls up towards around 140. But honestly, I'd rather see it crack below that 137.25, push back up for a retest, confirm that we're inside of the gap zone, stay below that upper level as resistance, and get confirmation for those puts, and then look to take a short on Amazon today down towards around that 134, guys. So that's going to be confirmation for the short, is a crack and retest below 137.25. That's going to give us confirmation to play puts down towards around that 134 level. But if we do not crack below 137.25 and we actually see this level holding on up as support, we can then confidently look to take Amazon long up towards around 140. Okay, and a prime example of what I mean is we have a gap that could get filled, but we could hold that upper level and bounce. Meta is a great example, right? Meta is a great example of how we have this gap that we come down to it, we could enter it, but we bounce off the upper level. Next day, bounce off the upper level. Next day, bounce, 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 right? We hit that level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before cracking and retesting and actually closing that gap, right? We held that level really nicely. There was another stock that was doing the same thing. I believe it was on, what was the other one that we were looking for the gap fill where, oh yeah, it was Tesla. It was Tesla's initial gap, right? So we had Tesla with this initial gap fill, and we saw the same thing with Tesla where we came down to the gap level and we bounced 3 times before actually getting confirmation to play those puts for the gap fill. So same thing with Amazon, right? And I think Meta is a great example of, hey, we could see a gap fill today, but we may come down and bounce off that level, and it may be a good long today before we actually really get confirmation to play those puts for the gap fill. And, you know, Amazon, that's what we need to be thinking, is we come down to this level and we've bounced. We've come down and bounced. We could bounce again today and have a good long. So if we do fail to crack below that 137.25, and if we hold it on up as support, we could say a nice push to the upside, like we saw here with Tesla as it was trying to fill its gap. You had 3 days worth of bouncing at that gap level. Same thing with Meta, trying to close the gap, but we bounced off that level 5 times before actually closing the gap. It's very, very possible we see the same thing today with Amazon, where we tried to close the gap and get that crack on down, but we hold this level and bounce. If we see that level hold on up, that's why we'd be getting long. We could see a nice push up towards around 140 here on Amazon. But at any point in time, we fall below 137.25, retested as resistance. We get confirmation we're inside of this gap zone. We're holding below that upper level as resistance. That's what we need to see to look to get short to close this gap down around 134 and then down around that 130 level here on Amazon, guys. All right. So these are my top 2 plays. Right? Netflix looks decent, but you guys already have the game plan on Netflix. It's the same game plan that we've had Monday and Tuesday, right? If we come into this downtrend, into this zone of resistance, and we start to roll on over, I want to be getting short on Netflix to close its daily gap down towards around 410. So today, if we see this take place on Netflix, where we open on up, we push into this upper level of resistance and also hit this downtrend and start to roll on over, that's where I want to be looking to get short here on Netflix for the drop on back down towards around 419 and then down to close this daily gap towards around 410. All right. So that zone of resistance is between 426.20 and 427.60. That's going to be your main level of resistance here on Netflix. And so all I want to see today is for Netflix to open, grind on up into this downtrend, into this zone of resistance and get rejected and start to roll on over. If we see that take place, I want to be getting shorts on Netflix down to yesterday's low of day, down to Monday's low of day, and then eventually see if we can come down and close that gap down towards around 410 here on Netflix. Same game plan we had on Monday. Never had confirmation for the trade. Same game plan as yesterday. Never really had solid confirmation for the trade. But today, these 2 points intersect beautifully. The upper level of resistance and the downtrend both intersect beautifully. And so today's a day that we could see confirmation. We could see the setup, and we could be looking for those great entries, guys. So keep this one on high watch. Again, rejection off the downtrend and getting rejected in this strong zone of resistance would give me confirmation to look for some put contracts down to 421. That's yesterday's low of day. Down towards around 419. That's going to be Monday's low of day. And then down towards around 410 to close this daily gap. All right, guys. And then lastly, we have Apple for a daily gap fill as well. So we have this gap here that was created from May 26th into May 30th, right? This high a day on Friday prior to the gap up low of day, we created this daily gap between 175.79 and 176.57. We know how to trade the gaps. We've seen a lot of them play out. We've traded a lot of them. We have a lot setting up for today. We know what to expect for a gap fill. It's the same thing across the board. So what do we want to see on Apple? Okay, one of two things can happen. Number one, we can come down into that level again and see a bounce, right? We saw that on Tesla where we were trying to fill the gap, but we bounced at the gap level. May see the same thing today with Amazon where we bounce off the gap level, right? We saw this with Meta where we came down and hit the upper gap level 5 times as support, giving us decent bounces prior to cracking and closing the gap. Same thing can happen with Apple. We could come down to the upper level from this gap zone at 176.57 and bounce today, right? So if we do come on down to this 176.57 level and we hold above it as support, we can catch a nice bounce back up towards around like 178 today here on Apple, okay? But if we're looking to get short on Apple, what do we need to see? We need to see Apple come on down, eventually fall below that 176.57 level, stay below it as resistance. That gives us confirmation that we're inside of this daily gap zone, staying below the upper level as resistance. Then we can confidently take put contracts to fill the daily gap to the short side. And again, that short target to close that daily gap is going to be down at 175.79. So if we hold that upper level as support, we'll look to play calls for a possible bounce off that level. But if we fall below that level, enter the gap zone and stay inside of it, and that level turns resistance at 176.57, and we get confirmation for the puts, we want to be looking to short Apple today down towards around 175.79 to close the gap. All right. So Tesla, right? We have a gap that could get filled today. Keep it on high watch. Amazon sitting right at this gap level. There's a lot of potential to fade and fall today down towards around 134 to close this daily gap. Netflix, right? We're not aiming for a gap fill strategy, but eventually we have a gap that could be filled. But our strategy and our game plan is not built around a gap like Apple or Amazon or Tesla, but we do have a gap fill target down around 410. Again, great potential here on Netflix. And then we just talked about Apple. Great potential on Apple today as well to possibly come on down and close that daily gap, guys. All right. So again, we have Tesla on high watch, Amazon, definitely one of our top stocks, Apple, one of our top stocks. And then Netflix, I would say Netflix is more or less a back burner at this point in time, but it definitely has great potential for today. And I definitely want to keep it on watch once again, guys. All right. So you guys have the game plan and the breakdown on the SPY, what we can expect to see today with the SPY and your key levels, your make or break levels that are going to really give you some great trades. All right. Tesla, you guys are fully prepared. Amazon, Netflix, and Apple, you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Right? We got about 10 minutes left to go. If you guys have any stocks on your watch list that you want reviewed, let's go ahead and spend the next 10 minutes getting those stocks reviewed and make sure you're all set, ready to rock and roll, guys. Catherine's liking Amazon. I'm liking Amazon as well, right? Could be a great long today, up to 140. Could be that great short to come down and close the gap around 134. Amazon's looking fantastic. And I don't care where Amazon goes. Like, I don't care if Amazon wants to hold and bounce. I'll play calls. I don't care if it wants to crack and close the gap. So be it, I'll play puts. But either way, great opportunity today with Amazon. And Amazon is actually one of the top plays. I would actually rate Amazon the number one pick of the day. I would say Apple is probably the number two pick of the day, followed by Tesla. And then at the very bottom of the watch list would be Netflix. So most of my focus at the start of the day, based on where Amazon is, my focus is on Amazon. Based on where it's at, it looks great. And I think we see a great opportunity in a possible trade right when the market opens at 9:30, guys. Yo, what's up, Alex? Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Anthony, Corey, Tracy. What's up, Tracy? Welcome back. Good morning, Felicia. How we doing? So again, team, we got about 8 minutes until the market opens. Let's go ahead and make sure you guys are all set, ready to rock. Are there any stocks that you're looking at today that you need a review on? I can step in, do some due diligence, and make sure you're all prepared, you're all set and ready to rock, guys. Get those tickers posted up. If you have any questions, if not, we'll sit back on our hands. We'll wait for the next 8 minutes, wait for the market to open, and we'll go from there, guys. If you guys were here this morning, we talked about NVOS. I gave you guys the morning game plan, the morning breakdown on NVOS. That trade worked out absolutely beautifully. So if you guys were here, you listened to the game plan, the breakdown, you guys could have had a great trade in pre-markets. They're on NVOS. It worked out beautifully. And then how did TTOO set up? TTOO hasn't even set up yet, but that one should still be on high watch here with TTOO. So since that one hasn't set up yet, definitely take a moment, watch that quick 3-minute long morning breakdown on TTOO and get prepared and just understand what we can expect today here with TTOO if you are going to be watching these penny stocks, right? So the top penny stocks on watch today, you got NVOS number 1, you got TTOO number 2, and I don't even know why DLO is still on the watch list. We're going to take DLO off the watch list. We have a few other stocks gapping on up. Things are moving. So let's take a look at AKU, currently up 60% right now at this point in time. And could we see AKU make a nice move today? Well, let's just go get prepared on this one real quick and see if there's any great potential with AKU. So we would see some support down around like 15 cents. And we would have some resistance up towards around 20 to 21 cents. Where are we at right now? We're actually sitting right at that daily level. We're actually sitting right at that 20-cent level resistance. So there is going to be some resistance there, right around 20 to 21 cents. You will have resistance at the 50 SMA, and the 50 SMA is also in line with some of these prior daily highs, right? Daily high, big rejection, daily high, big rejection, a high day, big rejection. So not only do we have the 50 SMA sitting right here around 22 cents, we also have a lot of this daily resistance right around 22 cents as well. So to really see AKU get some explosive action to the upside and really be able to move and rip and run, we've got to break that 22 cent level and stay above 22 cents. Right now we can see we tried to break it. It was a false breakout. We got slammed right back down below that level. And now we're retesting it as resistance. So if you fail to get back above 22 cents on AKU, I would be hands off, right? I would just be completely hands off with AKU. But if we can get above and stay above 22 cents, then hey, we're holding that daily resistance level as intraday support. And then we could see a nice little spike to the upside and see some decent action. We could see the stock possibly get up towards around, I would say, these daily lows right around like 28 cents. So if we can break and hold 22 cents, I see some decent potential up towards around 28 cents. But if we fail to break and hold 22 cents, you guys are going to be completely hands off as the stock has potential to fade and fall back down towards around 15 cents here on AKU. Is Amazon already starting to do the gap fill? Nah, wait for the open. Well, this is good. This is still okay. Because if Amazon can open inside this gap zone, let it open and push to the upper level of resistance, and then let's get that rejection for those puts. So that's okay. Go ahead and start cracking now. Let Amazon open, pop on up at the start of the day into that resistance level, and then start to roll on over so we can confidently take those puts. So either way, hey, we still got great opportunity here with Amazon, and Amazon is my number one stock that I'll be watching right at the start of the day. And so what I should probably do is go ahead and get my broker open just in case. All right, good. We're all set. Brokers open. We're live. Market will be open here in about 4 minutes. So we'll see Amazon. We'll see what those spreads look like on the options. Again, that's why I was like, I would actually prefer Amazon, gapping down a little bit, right? Dropping on off, kind of opening down here, maybe, 40 to 50 cents below that resistance level. Let it open here, right? Take maybe 5 to 10 minutes to bounce back up into that level. Give the options time to settle down. Allow those option spreads to tighten up to where when it comes time to actually get that trade, right, it makes sense. The options are nice and tight. So yeah, if we can open down here, have a nice little pop, 10 to 15 minutes before we get, a reason to take that trade, it should tighten those spreads up a little bit. So we'll have to see how those options open, what they look like, and again, see if it makes sense to jump into the short side on Amazon when the market opens on up, guys. Yeah, guys, and we are live on YouTube. So if you guys want to trade with us live today, you want to see my charts, scanners, commentary, analysis, live trades, come over to YouTube, type in Alpha Day Trading, join the channel, join the stream. You guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. And if you guys do come over to the YouTube today, make sure you smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. So when we do these live streams on YouTube, at least you guys are notified and you can attend these live sessions, right? But we are live on YouTube, and that's where you're going to be able to see my screen. We're doing a free stream Wednesday today because I will not be around Friday to do a free stream Friday. So we're doing a free stream Wednesday, and today's a great day for a free stream Wednesday. We got some great opportunity in the market. Amazon looking sexy. Apple looking pretty decent as well. Tesla, okay. And Netflix, not too shabby. And then we got the SPY on watch as well. But I, again, am coming in with the expectations that the SPY will probably be slow and choppy leading up to FOMC. That's why I'm putting like 80 to 90% of my focus at the start of the day here on Amazon to the short side. As long as we stay below 137.25, we can see this bad boy drop on off towards around 134 here on Amazon, baby. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Today is going to be an amazing day, guys. We got about 1 minute until the market opens on up. And then everybody inside of Market Mastery, I'm having some computer issues. My computer crashed 2 times today due to a memory overload. Anytime I try and pull up anything else that results in sharing screens or, mics and stuff, it crashes. So I'm having a hard time getting the Zoom open today. So today, we do not have a Zoom available. But what I can do is I can invite you over to an additional or a different software, and you guys can still tap in with audio, but I can't get the Zoom open today. But what I can do is I can invite you guys to this restream. You guys can come in, but just know that it's being broadcasted over to YouTube. So when you're there, your face, your screen, your audio, that's all going to be broadcasted to YouTube. If you don't want that broadcasted out there on YouTube, then we'll just go ahead and pass on the live session today until I can get my computer fixed. If you don't care, I'll drop that link and you're all set. All right, guys, market's open. We are all set, ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and see what these Amazon puts are looking like today. Spreads aren't bad out of the gate. You got 40 delta. Spreads are like 2 cents, 3 cents. So the spreads on the options aren't bad whatsoever. And the strike with a 40 delta, the premiums are only about $125 a piece. So not bad. So here's Amazon. We're opening below 137.25. Fantastic. We dropped on off at the start of the day. Great. Let Amazon bounce up to this 137.25 level. Let's see if we hold below it as resistance. And if so, that's where I want to be looking to get short for that leg on down. Right now, I'm not chasing the puts. I'm not in puts. Again, if I'm getting in right here, I'm chasing the move. I need to wait for a bounce back up into resistance. Watch it stay below that level. get confirmation for puts, then we'll take the puts. But right now, I am flat. I have no open position. Again, I don't want to be chasing stocks. So again, sorry today I don't have my webcam up. I do apologize that the Zoom is having issues as well. Again, just having some computer issues. I'm going to hit up Steve later this afternoon, try and get this figured out. But again, no webcam. You guys can't see my beautiful face over on YouTube either, but it's all good. You got my charts, you got my screen, and you guys are all set. So what we can go ahead and do is nope, you guys should be good. That was my bad. My bad. The sound was off. Thank you. Thank you. So maybe we don't get it. I mean, out of the gate, I guess if you were in this at the start of the day, you're absolutely crushing it. But I mean, at the start of the day, it just straight down. This lower high, just wasn't close enough to that level of resistance for me to feel confident to pull the trigger. So I'm still flat on the day. I have no open position right now at this point in time, guys. Come on, Amazon. Just a little bit of a pop. That's it, man. Just a little slight pop. Get back up towards around like at least 137, right? As close to that 137.25 as possible. I mean, this is a great looking short. So come on now. Let's get it. The play on Amazon is waiting for Amazon to get back up as close to this 137.25 level as possible. Hold below it as intraday resistance, top on out, and then really just start rolling on over. And if we see that, that's where I want to be looking to get short. There's a nice big squeeze. Amazon starting to get back up towards around that 137.25. This is why we don't chase, right? This was not a good entry down here. This is not a good entry down here. I'm not chasing. I want to wait. If I miss the trade, I miss the trade. By being patient, I make sure that I'm not chasing these stocks, right? I get the best of the best entries. Big old move on the SPY, guys. I mean, massive, massive move here on the SPY at the start of the day. I mean, we're already up about $1.20 in the past 7 minutes. QQQ getting a nice little pop on up as well. And Amazon getting pretty close to this 137.25. So we would be looking at, obviously, the puts, 42 delta. We're looking at a 136 expiration. 136 expiration. 136 strike. My goodness, my brain's not working today. That computer issue threw me off. Jesus. 136 strike. Friday's expiration. The contracts right now are about $100 a piece. Got a 40 delta. Those are going to be the options that I'm looking for here. 136 put. Friday's expiration. So, I mean, SPY's getting some action here, guys. SPY's getting some action. Where do we think the SPY's going to be going? So, I mean, we held yesterday's low of day and close. We held that zone as support, right? We opened on up inside that zone. We pushed on through it. So that zone was respected as support. And now we're coming back up into the 50 SMA. So we may have a little bit of resistance right around like that 443.90 to 444. So yeah, you got a little bit of resistance coming on up. Yeah, right around 443.90. Yeah, 443.90 is going to be the next level of resistance here. That's going to be right around, I mean, it's right at this high a day, right around this high a day, right at this high a day here. And then we do have the open here from last Friday, right around this 443.90. That's going to be some overhead resistance here on the SPY. If we break above that 443.90, then we're going to 444.90 here on the SPY. Or Tesla, like I said, or Tesla. If Tesla really wants to push back up towards around yesterday's low of day and yesterday's close, right, and close the gap and then roll on over, that's fine for me. That's like the best area to be looking to get short here on Tesla would be up towards around yesterday's low of day and yesterday's close. That zone between 232.60 and 233. So if we can see Tesla continue to push on up into this overhead level of resistance and eventually top on out, I would be looking to get short on Tesla up around it's at 232.60 to 233 level here on Tesla. Right now, Amazon is just not really getting close enough to that level, and it's not really topping on out at that level to give me confirmation for a short. So I'm still not in on Amazon right now. I am not in on Amazon. The only thing that I see coming on up could be Tesla. Right? And if we come up towards around that upper zone of resistance, top on out, and roll on over, that would be a great low-risk area to get short for the drop on back down. So I see Tesla coming on up. Apple, nowhere close to a trade. Netflix, still plenty of time. Netflix needs to get back up towards around 427. But right now, if Tesla can pop on up towards around that 233 level, I would love to get short up towards around 233 on Tesla. So we may have that trade coming on up. Let's go ahead and look at some Tesla puts real quick. We go Friday's expiration. We'll go Friday. So 2 days out. On something like Tesla, it's a big mover. I step my delta down just a little bit. So I'll go down to a 30 delta. I'll be looking at the 227.50 puts, right? So 227.50 puts. Friday's expiration, they have a 30 delta. Right now, they're worth about $1.90 a piece. And again, all I want to see on Tesla, guys, is Tesla push on up into this zone, get rejected. And as long as we see that this area is holding Tesla down as resistance, we have good volume, good price action, we're rolling on over, right? As long as we just have a solid reason to get short, that's where I want to be getting short, up towards around, again, that 233 level. And right now, I'm completely flat on the day. No trades. I guess so. Yeah, man. It's like the second the market opened, everybody just got super quiet. Everybody's like, what's going on right now? Yeah, everybody's asleep, dude. Everybody's sleeping, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to get it. Just again, being patient. And again, patience pays, guys. I mean, I really want to point out the trades from yesterday, right? Did we touch the SPY at all along this move down? We didn't, right? Our first trade presented itself right here at like 10:15, right? 45 minutes in before we took our first trade. Then our second great trade presented itself right around 11 o'clock. We had 2 trades yesterday, but it took 45 minutes for the first trade to really play itself out and confirm. And then another 45 minutes before we even saw trade number 2. We had 2 trades yesterday, right? Both winners, great trades. But again, we didn't touch anything the first 30 to 45 minutes. We're only 15 minutes into the day, right? I don't have a trade yet. It's okay, right? I don't see an opportunity. I'm waiting for the market to come to me, to one of my levels. And that's exactly what we did yesterday. And we absolutely nailed our first trade, nailed the second trade, and that was a wrap for the day. So again, I'm just waiting for the market to come to me and set up and give me a solid reason to get in. Freaking Amazon is just deciding to roll on over. Someone just dinged in profits, chat. Guarantee it's freaking Catherine. Let's go check. Of course it's Catherine. Of course. Love it. Amazon, $800 on the day. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. She's like, I ain't picky. I'm not picky. I'm jumping in, baby. Let's go. And you got 5% on the small account as well. Nice. That's what I'm talking about, Catherine. Way to come out. Start today strong. Lock in some great profits. Again, I don't know if you caught it the very first minute, if you caught it off that upper shadow, but you know me. I'm super picky. I want to get my trade literally to the penny. SPY looking good for a nice little drop coming on up. Look at that little head and shoulders formation here on the SPY, guys. Look at that head and shoulders formation right off that level of resistance. You got the 50 SMA, you got all of these prior daily highs, you got last Friday's open. I mean, 443.90 is a pretty solid level of resistance, and support's back down at like 442. The upper end of that zone, 442.90. So, I mean, there's about $1 to the downside here on the SPY. About $1, maybe $1.50 of reward to the downside. Starting to get this decent little head and shoulders formation right off that 443.90 resistance. So, if we continue to top on out and we fail to break above 443.90, if we can't break this level and we start rolling on over, I would happily get short on SPY back down towards around like 442.80. It's about $1 to the downside. Where's Tesla? Is Tesla getting close? I'm ready to rock and roll on Tesla. I got an order typed up. But if we see the SPY starting to roll on over off this 443.90, I would just go ahead and jump into the SPY. Let's see what it's going to do here at 442.90. Yeah, since the SPY sitting right at this level, looking like we could see a nice rejection and a nice drop, probably just going to jump into some SPY puts because Tesla still got a while before it even gets up to my area. And the SPY right now is starting to top on out. If I can get a trade off the table, I will here on SPY, but I don't want to get in late. So if I can get a trade quick, let's make it happen. Friday's expiration, 2 days out, 40 delta. We'll do a 442 put, 442 puts. So if we do see a strong rejection here and we start to drop, I would jump into the 442 puts for Friday's expiration. Really depends on what the SPY does right here, right now at this 443.90. If we just break it and continue to rip, let the SPY go. It's got room to 444.90. But if we see a strong rejection here and we set up to the short side at 443.90 resistance, then I already have an order typed up ready to go here on the SPY. Looking at the 442 puts that expire Friday. And there's fucking Tesla. It's between Tesla and the SPY, guys. Between Tesla and the SPY. Both of them looking decent. All right, decent little short here on the SPY. And again, I say decent short on the SPY. Better looking short on Tesla if we can get up to that 233 level. I'm going back to Tesla now. I know I'm like, hey, the SPY for the rejection, but look at the SPY. It's breaking that level. It's pushing higher. It's not rolling over. It's not getting rejected. That trade never validated itself. Why am I looking at it? Let's go to Tesla. Tesla's getting very, very, very close to that level of resistance. This is an area that I want to be keeping on high watch here on Tesla, guys. Again, 227.5 puts expire Friday. Right now, they're worth about $170 a piece. Again, 227.50 puts that expire Friday here on Tesla. And we're just coming back into yesterday's low of day, yesterday's close. We're closing the gap into resistance. If we hit that level of resistance intraday, top out, roll over, that's a great area to look to get short here on Tesla, guys. Like I did that day. Big rejection on SPY. QQQ pulling back a little bit. Come on, Tesla. Give me that freaking entry, dude. Give me my entry. I got to see the price. I want an upper shadow, like in this blue box. That's it. Like how we're looking right now, where you pop up and we start to drop. Like I want to see that kind of price action, leaving these upper shadows, looking like it's going to roll on over in the blue box, in that blue zone. That's where I'm going to be. Here we go. Thank you, Tesla. Now we're coming on up. Right back down. Still not in. SPY's back below 443.90. That looks great. So if the SPY can stay below that level, Tesla hit the top into that zone. I'm going to pull the trigger here. Whoa, why is it not letting me in? What the fuck? Ah! Sorry, guys. It's always freaking something. It's always something. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to pull the trigger, but I keep getting this freaking error message on my account that I can't open this fucking position. Jesus. Sorry, guys. Today's been a brutal day. My computer crashed twice. What is going on? Why can I not enter this position? This is stupid. I don't get it. I am I am very confused right now on why my order is getting freaking rejected. This makes no sense. Well, my wife may kill me, but I'm gonna open up my other account here. I'm gonna have to open up my other account. I gotta call Interactive. I guess there's an account issue. I guess my account's not set correctly or configured correctly to where it's preventing me from opening that trade on Tesla to the penny. Like I literally tried to nail it at 233. That was my level. Literally tried jumping in right there at 233 the second I hit that high, and it's like rejecting my order. So I got to call them and see what's going on. But I'll let my cash settle this week and get it liquidated by Friday. Today's Wednesday, settle on Thursday, Friday pull. Yeah, so today's the last day I could trade this account, but it's all good. Ah, someone else get profits. You added a little bit more. There you go, Catherine. You got 1,700 bucks on the day. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So here we go. Tesla. If we come back into that zone one more time, let's go. If I miss the trade, I miss the trade. But man, I tell you what, I think I'm being tested today. Computer crashing 2 times. Broker not sending my freaking order through, being patient for the trade, getting confirmation, and I'm not in the trade right now. We were looking at the 227.50 puts. Again, I'm not chasing the move, guys. I'm not chasing it. It's already down $1 from the entry. If I miss the trade, I miss the trade. It is what it is. If Tesla can push back up into that zone one more time and get rejected, so be it. We got a trade here. Come on, Tesla. Give it to us, baby. Been waiting patiently for you for the past 30 minutes. And just get a fucking dump. Ah, man. I invest in crypto. Yeah, Catherine's out here eating today. Catherine's just out here eating. Check this out. I mean, 1,700 bucks on SPY, Amazon, 891, 5% on the small account, some SPY puts. Nice move there. Great trade. Amazon for the gap fill, already in out of the gate. Great trade, locking in some great profits. Great profits. What, 1,700 bucks on the day? Not even 30 minutes in. Now you say what? Now what? Going back to sleep. That's what she normally says. All right, going back to bed. Made my money. I'm out. Good job, Catherine. You always crush it. Well done. What made you switch from TOS to TradingView? When I was actually wanting to use my MacBook to run the streams on and trade to be more remote, and TOS wasn't working on my Mac. So that's when I started to load up TradingView, using TradingView. Eventually, I went back to my PC like 2 weeks later, but I got so used to TradingView and I liked it that I decided to stay with TradingView versus going back to TOS. But the main reason was I was using my Mac for trading and live streaming, and TOS would not work on my Mac. So I needed to find a solution. That was TradingView. Ended up really liking it, and now I stick with TradingView. Anthony, well done, sir. Nice little trade to start your day, boss. Good job. Here we go. Tesla may give it to me. Tesla may give it to me. What's the SPY doing? SPY still rolling. QQQ looking like it's going to roll as well. So I feel pretty confident to grab some Tesla puts. So let's see. I mean, nice little $1.50 drop on the first trade. Quick little scalp, but I'm not going to chase it down here. I even said I'm not going to chase it. I missed my trade. I'm not chasing it. If it comes back up within the zone, I'll take the trade, right? Only if it comes back up into the zone will I take that trade. But I'm not going to chase it down here. And so now it's coming on back up. I want to look at the SPY. SPY still has room to the downside. QQQ sitting at resistance, room to the downside. Tesla sitting right at that main level of resistance. Let's wait for this candle to close. And if we have a weak close here, I'm going to be jumping into some Tesla puts, guys. But again, I want to see the SPY drop on off a little bit as well, and I want to see the Qs dropping. If I start to see the SPY and the Qs dropping, and they look like they want to roll on over here, I will be pulling the trigger on Tesla. Tesla will probably start to drop on off here as well. Right now, I am not in on Tesla. I'm just waiting and watching. I want to see the SPY start to drop on off a little bit. Like to see the Qs drop on off a little bit here as well if they are. And I don't want to be too early on Tesla. I don't want to be getting in too early. I want to wait for solid confirmation. The first trade was a great trade. Literally to the penny entries. Nice $1.50 drop. Coming back towards this zone. I'm just waiting for additional confirmation to be getting short here on Tesla. And my confirmation is going to be like, are we going to see the SPY rolling on over? Or the Qs going to top out here at resistance and roll on over? If so, Tesla is most likely to come back below this 233 level and start to pull back. So I'd like to see some confirmation within the SPY and the Qs that those two are pulling back, fading and falling. That would make me feel confident to go ahead and get short on Tesla. But I'm just waiting, like I said, for a bit more confirmation to take these puts. There's the SPY starting to drop. Qs. Okay, so Tesla's probably getting pretty close. Let's see. I use a 1 minute time frame. Yep, I think that's going to be it for Tesla. I'm going to jump in. Just 10 to start. We're seeing the Q starting to roll. SPY starting to roll. Tesla leaving a pretty large upper shadow here and getting pulled back as the SPY and the Qs are starting to pull back as well. So I'm going to start with just 10 put contracts to get my feet wet with Tesla. There's the SPY starting to drop on off. It's rolling. There's the Qs starting to pull back here a little bit. And there we got Tesla trying to get his pullback here as well. SPY has room back down to at least, like 442.88. 442.88 here on the SPY. So there's another, 50 cents to the downside with the SPY. Qs are rolling over as expected, and that's pulling back Tesla as well. Fantastic. There we go. Starting to see Tesla pull back now as the SPY and the Qs start rolling. That was our confirmation. I want to see the SPY and the Qs rolling on over. See Tesla react. There we go. Now we're starting to see some profits. Nothing crazy. Keeping the size light, but we're up like $100 on only 5 put contracts. So we're up 10% right now, guys. Those contracts are now up about 10%. Not too shabby. Our investment was only about $1,400. We're up about 120. Still holding, though. It's such a light position that I'm going to hold a little bit longer than I typically do because I am on a lighter position. There we go. Now we're starting to see some profits. Boom, baby. Let's take half. Let's take half our position on Tesla. So I took 5 of the 10 contracts. We're up about 180 right now at this point in time. Good trade there on Tesla. Great confirmation as well. Confirmation on Tesla was getting rejected at that zone of resistance. I know we broke above that zone. We were starting to see a big upper shadow created on Tesla. And then we were starting to see the SPY and the Qs roll on over as well. That was going to be confirmation that if the SPY and the Qs started to drop, that would pull Tesla as well. And we were correct. It pulled Tesla down as well. And right now we're sitting on a pretty decent little trade here with only 10 put contracts. We're up about $200. And I'm going to hold these 5, and I'm going to see how long I can hold these and see if Tesla gets a solid drop. So I've already taken half my position, locked in profits. I'm going to hold the other 5 contracts back down to like 230 on Tesla. Nice, Johnny. Johnny coming in, locking in some great profits on some SPY puts. Good job, boss. Good job, man. Chelsea, really, really good question. So how do you calculate your out on profit? So let me just go ahead and ask you this question before I give you an answer. Do you mean like how do I calculate when I scale out to take profit? Is that the question? Like at what point in time do I like start selling to take profits, like scaling out of a position to get paid? You made $600 today, Chelsea? Yo, that's what I'm freaking talking about. Let's go. Woo! $640, and Chelsea's been a part of the team for like 30 days. She's already locking in $600. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Good job today. Good work. And now you get to go show a house. I love it. Absolutely love it. Still holding 5 of those puts on Tesla. I want to see a nice drop on off, and I expect it. I expect to get that drop here on Tesla. So I'm still holding puts. But yeah, if your question is how do I scale out? At what point do I start scaling out? It's very simple, and I'll explain it to you. I would say Tesla down to 231.68. I'll take a little bit. And then down towards around 230, I'll take a little bit more. So I think I understand your question. And so let me go ahead and answer it. And if I'm answering it incorrectly, and if this is not your question, we'll dive back into it. So for example, right, when do I start scaling out? Right. So let's say I'm getting short here on Tesla, right as we start to see this confirmation, putting stops over the high a day. Okay. I'm risking 84 cents. I know I have potential to get $3 to $4 out of Tesla, right? I have a 3-to-1 setup on Tesla, right? 3-to-1 setup. Okay. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do anything until I hit my main target. My rule is when I hit 1-to-1, I scale out profit, I go risk free, right? So if I'm risking 84 cents, what's a 1-to-1? That's 84 cents in profit. So when I hit 84 cents of profit, I start my scale out process. Okay. I go stops to break even, just like that. I get stopped out, but I'm walking away profitable. When I hit a 2-to-1, I take more. When I hit a 3-to-1, I scale out more. When I hit my final target, I'm all out. But I start my scale out process when I hit 1-to-1, and then I go break even. When I hit 2-to-1, I trim a little bit more. When I hit 3-to-1, I trim a little bit more. When I hit 4-to-1, I trim a little bit more. And if I see the stock is bouncing at a level or it's starting to reverse, even if it hasn't hit a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, but I see within the price action that it's trying to move back up or go against me or go in the opposite direction, and I see a reason to get out of the trade, I'll make that decision at that point in time to exit the trade and take all of my profits. But what I do is when I hit 1-to-1, I start my scale out process of, maybe 20% of my position, right? 20% of my position I'm scaling out. Right? When I hit 2-to-1, I'm scaling out another 20, 30%. When I hit 3-to-1, scaling out, 4-to-1, scaling out, all the way into my main profit target. That's plenty to scale out. If you're trading 1 to 10, even if you have 2 contracts, you can scale out on 2. So let's say you took 2 contracts. When you hit 1-to-1, you take 1 year 2. Stop at break even on the other one. And then let the rest ride down to your target or until you start to see a reversal and the trade's starting to, again, move in the opposite direction and starting to say reverse, for example. But yeah, if you're trading 1 to 10 contracts, you definitely are taking enough size to be able to scale out. Like I took 10 contracts on the trade. When I hit 1-to-1, what did I do? I took half my position. Okay. And I'm actually holding the other half down to some of these lower levels, which would put me at a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 target. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Made $100. Cool. Good job. Hunter grabbed some profits on those Tesla puts. Good job, man. Good job. I missed my second target to scale out. I'm going to put the blame on Chelsea here. We'll make Chelsea feel bad today. I'm joking. This was my second target. This was my one target. Remember, 231.75 against this low. That was another area that I was intending to scale out. Another 2 to 3 contracts, as that was one of our targets. I missed that scale out to where I'm still holding my my 5 contracts short. But the runner here is at break even. Those 5 contracts are set at break even. I can't lose. You know, I may not make the full $300-400 as expected, but I'll still walk away slightly profitable. Johnny, dude, Johnny's out here eating today. He's trading calls and puts left and right. He's absolutely eating. Good job, Johnny. No, I'm trading Friday expiration on Tesla. But if today was Friday, I would trade, Friday expirations on Tesla. I would trade 0 DTEs. I want to add back to this Tesla position. It looks sexy. I mean, the short looks phenomenal on Tesla. I mean, this is a great looking short, and I'm kind of tempted to like add to it, but nah, we'll hold the 5 runners, baby. We'll hold the 5 runners. Come on, Tesla. Come on down to 230. Come on down to 230, baby. You can do it. I believe in you. So we're up about $200 on 10 puts. It's about 15%. Actually, about 20%. Pushing 20% right now on the trade. So not a bad trade. Quick little 20%. We took little to no drawdown. I think the most we were down was like $20-30. So we nailed the entry. Absolutely nailed the entry. Little to no drawdown and scaling out, taking profits when we have it. Keep on coming down, Tesla. You looking sexy. You look like you want to come to 230. I want to hold to 230. Come on. Come on. You can do it. So Tesla needs to fall below 231.70. We need to get a strong crack below 231.70 in order to be confident we're coming down to the 230s. Okay, so right now, like, we have to crack that 231.70. If we continue to hold that level, we may push on up. My runner may get clipped. It's okay. SPY's pushing back up here a little bit. QQQ trying to pop on back up a little bit. And right now, I'm still holding the runner on Tesla. Just trying to be patient here. Tesla looks good to the short side. That's why we're short. Slow and steady, winning the race. 80% of my runners do get clipped. So I'm kind of like halfway tempted to close this trade, knowing that 80% of my runners typically get clipped. And I'm like, I'm better off just completely getting out when we get that move. And yep, got about 15 cents of breathing room. So we have a really good entry. I mean, we have tons of breathing room, but statistically speaking, 80 to 90% of my runners get clipped. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this comes up and stops me at break even on the other 5. Yeah, it's going to clip me out. Here it comes. Fuck. All right. There's the stop at break even. Man, today's a rough day, guys. Rough day. Computer crashed 2 times. That threw me off. 15 minutes late. First trade, main account. Not allowed me to get in. Good trade. Scaled out, did the right thing, but I missed my second scale out here to where I could have locked in a lot more. I locked in a whopping $80. All that work for $80. Boo. It's all good, though. It was a great trade. You guys are making money on it. That's all that matters. The SPY's having a hard time at that 444.90, guys. I mean, that is a key level of resistance here on the SPY, and it's struggling. Amazon may still give it to me. Amazon may still set up for the short. So if we come up exactly to the penny, to that 137.25 level, hit it, top on out, roll on over, I would be still looking for those puts here on Amazon up towards around 137.25. Until then, completely hands off. So if Amazon can get up to that 137.25, that's going to be the next trade here on Amazon, is up at that 137.25 level. SPY puts don't look bad either off that 443.90. You got rejected again, 443.90. Puts don't look bad, back down to 443. So you got about $1 to the downside on SPY. And we were looking for those puts here, 443.90. Nice trade, back up to 443.90. Strong rejection, filling this fair value gap. Pop, 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 back down towards around 443. Makes a lot of sense here on the SPY. If you're short, you're looking pretty good. Stops over this candle high. Yeah, lower high crack. Yeah, exactly. I threw that trend line up and I'm like, maybe some lower highs into the trend line crack. 100%. You know, I'm not in at the 443.90 level, but if we ever set up for a trend line crack, heck yeah, I may consider a trade here on the SPY short. I mean, even some lower highs on Tesla cracking this uptrend looks pretty promising as well. Nice little lower high crack at the trend line on Tesla looks pretty promising. Okay, here's Amazon. Let's go. AMZN. Amazon Friday expiration. Find that puts with a 40 delta. So you're probably looking at a 136. Yeah, 136 puts on Amazon. They're cheap. They're only like 90 cents a piece. It's getting there. You're like 20 cents away from a trade on Amazon. 20, 25 cents away from a potential trade here on Amazon coming on up. So we're getting pretty damn close. This is the closest that we've been. So all eyes on Amazon here for that short trade off that 137.25 mark. And so what I want to see is not only Amazon hitting 137.25 and getting rejected. What I also want to see is the SPY and the Qs looking weak and rolling on over as well. So if we see weakness within the SPY and the Qs, and we see weakness on Amazon, that's going to be the confirmation that I'm looking for. Just like Tesla, started to see some weakness on Tesla at our level of resistance. We also see weakness on the SPY and the Qs, looking like they're going to roll on over. That gave me the confirmation I wanted to grab those puts on Tesla. I'm looking for the same thing on Amazon. I want to see Amazon come to my level of resistance, 137.25, top out, roll over. And at the same time, see weakness within the SPY and the Qs as well. That's going to be the question. That's going to be the confirmation that I'm looking for. And then the lower high, crack of the uptrend on Tesla looking pretty promising as well. So if we ever see a nice crack of this trend line off of the lower high, which right now we have a slightly lower high, possible crack of the trend line, that would be confirmation to re-enter Tesla puts. Stand up and stretch. My goodness. You're getting pretty close on Amazon, so trades right around the corner. Again, we're looking at Friday's expiration, 136 puts here on Amazon. Oh, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting close. And at the same time, SPY's sitting below resistance, Qs coming into resistance as Amazon's getting close for a put. So I really like where the SPY and the Qs are at, coming into resistance or sitting right at resistance as Amazon's coming into that level of resistance where we're looking for put contracts. So here we go. We may be looking for a trade here on Amazon. Again, I want to reference the SPY and the Qs here. If the SPY is ripping through high a day and the Qs are ripping through this downtrend resistance, then hey, Amazon's probably going to rip on up as well. The Amazon is right there at that level, guys. I want to see what the SPY is going to do here. I want to see what Qs are going to do here. Qs are coming into downtrend resistance from yesterday. Right? That's going to be a level where we see the Qs hit, start to pull back. SPY's sitting right at all this overhead resistance as well. And then there's Amazon coming into that 137.25. So now that we have Amazon sitting at our resistance level, if we start to see the SPY dropping and pulling back, if we see the Qs dropping and pulling back, I'm jumping into those Amazon puts. I think that's good confirmation on the Qs. Here we go. We're in. We're in on Amazon. We just came up to that downturn on the Qs. Strong rejection. You guys all see that strong rejection on the Qs off that downtrend from yesterday. That gives me confirmation within the Qs to go ahead and jump into those Amazon puts as Amazon came up and hit our 137.25. So I just jumped into a couple puts on Amazon. When I say a couple, I mean 20. The more of a pullback we get within the Qs and the SPY, the more of a pullback we can see here on Amazon off that 137.25. So we're up like 25 cents a share on Amazon. So we're up about 160 on the trade. Not too shabby. Doing pretty well. We could always scale out. We're already at a 1-to-1. So let's take 5 of the 20 contracts. We're sitting at a 1-to-1 here. Right? Got in at 137.25. 25 cents of risk. We just hit 25 cents of profit. That's 1-to-1. I'm taking 5 of my contracts to start. So I've scaled out 25% of my position. Want to continue to see the SPY drop on off. Want to continue to see the Qs drop on off. I feel confident to continue to hold Amazon here just a little bit longer. The more downside we see with the Qs and the SPY, the more downside we're going to see here with Amazon as well. SPY still pushing on up here. QQQ trying to push on up one more time. The Qs really need to pull back off that trend line. The Qs really need to obviously hit the trend line again, get a nice big drop. We feel pretty good to hold Amazon a little bit longer. But if the Qs start to pop above that trend line, and if the SPY continues to try and push on up above this 444 level, again, Amazon's going to continue to grind on up a little bit. But as long as the SPY stays below like 444, and as long as the Qs stay below this downtrend and we can actually pull back here, Amazon's going to pull back as well. We're still holding this trade. Here we go. There's the Qs kind of trying to pull back. Let's see if Amazon follows suit. Yep. So there's the Qs pulling. Amazon's dropping along with the Qs. Fantastic. That's the kind of confirmation we want to see. There we go. SPY pulling back off resistance. Qs off resistance. Amazon was at resistance. We took the puts, and we're just watching the SPY and the Qs as reference to manage this Amazon position. Because if the Qs start the spike and the SPY starts the spike, I got to close that Amazon position because Amazon's most likely going to spike. But as long as the SPY and the Qs still continue to pull on back like they have been, we're still good to go on Amazon. Amazon can fall back below that 137 level. And eventually, I want to see Amazon crack this uptrend. If Amazon could ever crack this uptrend, we could see a nice big drop to the downside here. But I'm putting a lot of focus on the SPY and the Qs. Because like I said, if the SPY and the Qs start to pop and bounce, Amazon's going to pop and bounce as well. I'll start closing that position. But as long as the Qs continue to drop on off here, as long as the SPY can continue to drop on off here, Amazon can fall back below 137, start to drop on off as well. Now we're making some money. We're up like 127 on the trade. Nothing crazy. There's 140, 150. Now we're starting to see some decent profits here. Let's get Amazon below 137. These options should start to move a little bit better now. There we go. Keep on coming down. There's the SPY still pulling. QQQ still pulling back. Amazon still trying to drop on off as well. There we go. There we go. Let's take another 5 contracts here. Let's just go ahead and take half our position. We're at 1-to-1. We're going to take half our position at 1-to-1. We're stopping at break even on the other 10. So we still have half the position open. And we'll see if we can continue to drop on down here, both with the SPY and the Qs. And so far, we're seeing Amazon correlate nice and tight based on how the SPY and the Qs are moving. So now what I want to see is Amazon crack this freaking uptrend. As long as Amazon cracks this uptrend, we looking pretty good, baby. We looking great. Come on, crack trend line. Crack trend line. Obviously, I'm pretty hyped up. Trying to get y'all hyped up a little bit. If the trend line bounces, I'm probably going to just close the position for the $200. If we bounce off this trend line, I'm most likely going to close. Here's the crack. Come on, keep cracking. Dump, crack, dump, crack, dump. Come on, baby. How's the SPY doing? Still dropping. Q, still beautiful stuff. Amazon still dropping as well. Good stuff there, guys. Good stuff. So we are at a 2-to-1 now. That's a 2-to-1 target. We're taking 5 more contracts. We're up 50 cents on the trade. That's 2-to-1, right? We got in at 137.25. That was our level. 25 cents of risk. We just hit 50 cents of reward. That's a 2-to-1. I'm scaling out a little bit more here. I got 5 contracts left. The SPY may start to pop on up off this trend line and bounce. QQQ trying to bounce. Amazon, is this the trend line? We could still be holding the trend line to a certain extent. Depends on what trend line is being respected. Is it this trend line that we've cracked, or are we still technically trying to hold the trend line? Really depends on what trend line is being respected. You can see you can draw it two different ways, and they're both valid trend lines. So if we start to bounce here on Amazon, this is going to be the trend line. I'm going to cut my trade and close the final 5. If we start to dump here, it's going to validate that this is the trend line that we're cracking and that we could actually start the drop on off. So it really depends on what we do on this candle. If this candle starts to pop and bounce, this is your trend line. If we start to drop here, that validates we've cracked the trend line and we've got a lot of downside. Here we go. Next leg down. Baby, I love being so disciplined. I love waiting for the market to come to me, and I love taking low risk trades. I mean, come on, guys. We nailed the trade at 137.25. What time is it? It's 10 freaking 30. 10:30. It took an hour. It took an hour for Amazon to give us a setup to get to our level. Did we touch Amazon at all today? Nope. We just did because it came to 137.25. It topped out. We got short, and look at that. We're up 75 cents on the trade. Let's go. We're up 250 on the puts. Looking pretty good. Let's start piecing this out a little bit more. Let's sell another one here. There we go. Now we're at a 3-to-1. Let's scale it a little bit more. We're at 3-to-1. We're up 75 cents on the trade. Our risk was 25 cents. That's 3-to-1. Scaling out a little bit more here. We're up 260 on the trade. We have 3 contracts loft. That trade is about 30%, guys. 30% from, what was it, 80? What was it, 86 cents was the entry, scaling out at 107. Yeah, that's about 30%. It's not bad. Pretty good. I'll take it. Let's just close out. We're at 3-to-1, starting to bounce a little bit. SPY sitting at the trend line. It may bounce. QQQ sitting back at support. Probably see a bounce. Amazon will probably bounce as well if the SPY and the Qs bounce. So let's just go ahead and close out the trade. And we're up 339 on the day. Good job, guys. Good job. 2 wieners. 2 wieners today. Solid trades too, guys. I mean, solid stuff. Waiting for Tesla to come to us. Great trade. Great trade. And waiting for Amazon all freaking day to come to us. Great trade. So we waited for it. We nailed it. We took little to no drawdown. And that was a great trade. I mean, both of our trades were sexy, right? Little to no drawdown on both of the trades. And they were both profitable. So we're up like 339 on the day. Not bad. Yeah, inside of the community, I am streaming everything. So, like, if you're over here on TikTok wondering, like, why I can't see anything, because I'm exclusive inside of the community with members inside of chat, live trading, calling things out, doing analysis, basically everything that you're hearing. We're doing this live inside of chat. Anybody else grab Amazon puts? Good trade, guys. We waited for it all morning. Great trade. Great trade. 3-to-1. I'll take it. I'll take a 3-to-1 all day with little to no heat, little to no drawdown. Count me in. I'm happy with that. And Tesla did give you a lower high crack of the trend line. So if you guys were paying attention to Tesla. Yeah, I know. I'm saying the same thing, right? William, is this thing on? Like, no one's inside the chat today. Like, no one's here. I'm like wondering what's happening. I'm like, this is like a quiet day, man. Usually Wednesdays are hyped. Probably because people are like joining the stream and they don't see my webcam. So they think it's off. But I'm here. Just no webcam today because my computer's garbage. Yep, absolutely, guys. Hopefully you guys made some money. Felicia, you took the lower high, crack the trend line on Tesla. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, guys. You guys are moving the needle every day. I love it. You guys are crushing it. I don't even have to tell you to buy it right now. You're just like, I'm pretty confident. I've seen these setups. I know how to build my plans. I know how to manage my risk, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Felicia. Good job on your small account. You've been doing really good. You've been locking in consistent profits day in, day out. So, Felicia, I'm sure you're feeling pretty good. You feeling pretty confident. You feel like you have a strategy, a couple strategies under your belt. Feel pretty confident with them. I mean, it's definitely showing with your profits for sure. So, good job. Frank, you grabbed some Amazon. Good job. I trade on a 1 minute. So $339 doesn't seem like a lot of money, does it? You're like, oh wow, who cares? It's $300. Whoop-de freaking do, man. Why are you so hyped up about $339? Because I'm a real trader. And hey, $300 is not bad for an hour of work. And just to put it in perspective, $330, let's say that's all you're making a day. Let's just say you're making a few $100 a day. 20 trading days on average per month times 12 months in a year. You know, that's only $80,000 a year for working an hour. You know, nothing impressive, nothing substantial. Just being able to lock in, $80,000 a year by making a small $300 a day and working for maybe 2 hours a day. So, I don't know about you guys, but I think 80 grand a year is pretty nice for 2 hours of work per day, 10 hours a week per month. Not taking a lot of risk to put on $300 of winners. Like, you're going to go for $300 trades, you're risking less than $150 a trade. That's not a lot of risk. You don't need to risk thousands of dollars on a trade to make 6 figures a year. If you do it right, you focus on base hits, not home runs, your base hits add up to home runs. And that's how we trade around here, baby. Let's get it. More profits in Profit Chat. Dustin locking in some profits. Dude, Profit Chat stacked. Dustin, Felicia, Johnny, Hunter, Anthony, Catherine. Good job, everybody. You guys are on fire. William, thanks for the Amazon play. You sold too early, but green is green. Yeah, man, I got you. Absolutely. Today's a really good day. Yeah, today the market's moving well. It really is. And even if you're not trading, like just watching the trades happen, just listening to the analysis and actually watching the trades play out, like it's a really nice day. It's a great day to learn. Number one, there's a lot of great opportunities and a lot of great examples to learn from that are all happening in real time before your eyes, which is great. So always learning, always moving the needle. But yeah, if you're putting on your trades as well, you're making money. Today's an amazing day in the market for sure. Damn, Johnny. What? You got another winner on the SPY? Let's go, William. What's William doing right now? William locking in some Amazon profits as well. Good job, William. Way to go, dude. So I'm going to ask y'all a question, and I want everybody to answer. What's the key takeaway from the day? Like, if you had to say one thing, one sentence, one word, one thing only, what's the key takeaway of the day? What is important? What are you guys picking up that I'm trying to put down? Let's see if you guys nail it. The number one key takeaway. Frank, patience. Johnny saying discipline and patience. Anthony saying wait, patience, 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 right? Be patient. Be patient and do what, right? Yeah, patience, absolutely. Patience with the capital P-A-Y, baby. Be patient to do what? To wait for the market to come to you. And just like that, guys, like, is trading stressful? Do you honestly find trading to be stressful anymore? I don't. You're sitting back on your hands. You're calm, cool, collected. You're just enjoying your time while you're here. You're being patient. You're being disciplined, and you're waiting for the market to come to you. And the market's going to do one of two things. when the market comes to you. It's going to give you an opportunity to take a trade, or it's not going to give you an opportunity to take a trade. That's it. Market comes to you. One of two things happen. If you get an opportunity to take a trade and you have confirmation to enter, build your plan and take the trade. It's that simple. Trading is not stressful at all. The only reason trading's stressful is because traders make it stressful. It doesn't have to be that stressful. I mean, I'm just laying back. I literally just, I got my legs crossed in front of me. I'm laying back and I'm just enjoying my time here with you guys, right? Letting the market come to me. And if the market is not at one of my levels, I don't do anything. I play a video game. I mean, you guys can play video games or you guys can do work. I don't know, but you mark up your levels. Market opens. Be patient. Wait for the market to come to you. And if you get a trade, take the trade, right? If not, you're still hands off. That's it. Trading doesn't have to be stressful. And just like that, we're up $339 on the day. And I missed a couple of trades, right? And I missed one exit on Tesla. So in hindsight, I should be up a little over $500-600. But I missed a couple of trades, right, due to broker issues, and I missed a scale out. But still, even with a few issues today, I'm still up $300, which is decent. It's not bad. Be patient, and the trades usually set back up. Never worry about missing a trade. Yep, never worry about it. And you saw that firsthand on Amazon. Amazon could have given me a trade right here, not chasing it. Not chasing it, not chasing it, not chasing it, not getting in early, not chasing it, right? I could have chased it here. I would have got stopped out. I could have gotten in right here. That would have been a profitable trade, right? But it did come back to my level. It did set up. It did confirm. And this was the highest probability trade, the less stressful trade, waiting for confirmation, the least amount of risk and the highest amount of reward by being patient and letting the market come to me. Tesla, great example. Missed the trade. I said, I'm not chasing it. If I get in right here, I'm chasing the move. Most traders that miss this end up buying right there. How many times have you been waiting for a trade to set up? It comes to your level. You don't pull the trigger because you're scared. You're hesitant. The stock drops and you're like, oh shit, it is working. Oh my goodness, it is moving. Let me buy it. You get in right here. You should be in right here, but now you're chasing the move right here because you were hesitant. You were scared. You were fearful. How many times have you guys done that where you should have been in here, but now you're chasing the move here? A lot of times, right? Lots of times. And so what do we say? If the trade drops and Tesla keeps dumping, I miss the trade. Big deal. Something else will set up. I'm not chasing the move. But if it comes back up into that level and sets back up, then we have a trade. It did shoot back up. We did have a trade, and it was a winner. Johnny, I just looked at my journal. I'm at an 89% win rate on options since starting the small account challenge. Let's go. The account just crossed the 50% profit. So you're up over 50% in profit and you're at an 89% win rate. My man, let's go. And Johnny, I want to ask you a question. What, like 3 months ago, you knew nothing about options, right? You were pretty new to options. What, three months ago? You just started this options journey 3 months ago? Dustin, confirmation, baby. Absolutely. This group of people makes me feel very calm inside when I'm trading. It's a really good feeling being part of this team. Thank you, guys. Dustin, thank you for being here, man. Yeah, calm, cool, collected, right? We're not chasing plays. We're not hyped up. We're literally just trading like professionals. We are professionals. And so we need to act like professionals and approach the market like professionals and, you know, be calm, be cool, be collected, still have fun, still have a good time, right? Always learning, always moving the needle. But when it comes down to actually trading, like, being patient, man. There should be no stress, your nerves. You shouldn't be like that adrenaline rush feeling like a lot of traders get. Like they get that nervousness, adrenaline rush. Like you shouldn't have that. Trade should just be calm, right? All your trades, you should be calm with them. Feel good on the inside, like Dustin said. That's awesome, man. Gotcha. So you watched the courses over and over and over. You paper traded for a little bit. You started with a real cash account 2-3 months ago, and now you're up over 50% on your account. That's good work, dude. That's really good work, man. Joe coming in with 177 on the day. Looks like Joe grabbed Tesla. Joe grabbed Amazon as well. Good job. 2 really, really good trades, guys. The main thing here is that you're learning the setups. That's it. Like, I'm happy you guys are making money, but the most important thing that I want to make sure is happening is that you guys are learning why we're taking the trades, that you understand how you made money in the first place, right? If you just came in and you took some trades and you made money, but you don't fully understand the setups and the trades, you need to let me know. Say, hey, man, I took that trade with you on Tesla. I made money. Thank you. Feels good, but I don't really fully understand the trade. That's the goal here. We're going to take trades together. We're going to make money. We're going to lose money, right? Overall, we're still going to progress, grow our accounts. But the biggest takeaway every day is like not only just taking these trades and making money, but it's actually understanding why you took the trade in the first place and learning so that you can replicate that again in the future. Yeah, still going, still here. Yeah. It's almost 11. I'm going to save some other trades for later after 2. After FOMC minutes drop, I think that's smart, man. Right around 2:30, the market should be moving a little bit better. Right now, we're in that chop zone. Like Corey said, we're just kind of chop, chop, chop. And don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of swings. There's still a lot of opportunity for trades for some quick scalps. It's not as choppy as I thought, right? I thought today was going to be more like what we saw one day last week where the market was just boring as hell. I thought it was going to be one of these days, right? Just this very slow, boring grind. That's what I thought we were going to have. Really slow, boring, choppy grind. Not a lot of movement. Today, we're actually seeing decent movement. It's not great, but it's better than what I expected. There's been some really good opportunity here. I mean, we got dollar moves up and down relatively quick versus last week. There was a couple of days where we saw like 20, 30 cent moves, and that was it. So, I mean, there's still good opportunity for trades here. But the best opportunity, in my opinion, comes around 2:30 after FOMC minutes are released. And then, you know, we have more volume and some volatility return. So let me make sure I understand your question correctly. So you're saying in a situation like with Amazon, if we see it approach that key level around 137.25, is that a place you'd look for another opportunity? No. Are you asking if it comes back up to that level again for the second time, would I get into another short? Is that your question? And guys, I appreciate you guys liking the stream, sharing the stream. It means a lot. Appreciate you guys. But hey, yeah, so let me understand your question a little bit more. Is that what you're asking? Is if Amazon comes back up? Okay, cool. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something different. This is how smart our team is. All right, guys, I got a question for you. I mean, right now, trades are pretty much done. We're approaching 11 o'clock, and we don't have any opportunity right now in the market. So I have a question for you guys. All right. So I've got a question for someone on TikTok. I want you guys to answer it. So the question is, Josh, Amazon just came up to 127 or 137.25 and it dropped. If it comes back up to 137.25, would you get back into that trade again? If it comes back up for the second time, what's the answer to that question? If Amazon gets back up to 137.25, should we take the trade? You guys know the answer. Stir says no. William, no. Again, give me your honest answer. Yes or no? If it comes back up to that level, is it a good trade? Could be, but why do we stay away from those? All right, so we got some no's. Why would we stay away from that trade? What's the main reason that we would not consider a trade back up at 137.25 again? What's the main reason? William knows it. I'm just waiting for William. William knows it. I know someone knows it. Nah, I was just waiting. I was hoping everybody's sleeping today. Everybody was sleeping today inside of chat. There we go, Joe. The first setup's the best setup. Yep, the first time the level touches, that's the best setup. So the first time it hits that key level and gives us a reason for a trade, that's always the best trade, right? And this is how I break it down so it really makes sense. Okay, this trade here on Amazon, we were waiting for it to come up and hit 137.25 and then top out, roll over. What did it do? It came up, like an hour later, but it ended up coming up to 137.25, hitting it, dropping a little bit. You see a little upper shadow, hitting it, dropping a little bit, hitting it for the third time. We can see it's topping out here. Clear? We have that level identified, 137.25. Hits it, drops, hits it, drops, hits it, drops. It's clearly topping out, right? That gave us confirmation for the short. Right here at this point in time, the probabilities of this trade going in our favor are 80%. Okay, so we know that this is a key level of resistance. We have intraday confirmation that it's topping out at that level. We want to play it short. Okay, 80% probabilities that it works. If it comes back up and hits this level again, it could top out and drop, but the probabilities are a lot lower. Your probabilities go down to 60%. So there's a substantially less probable outcome that the trade works in your favor. The probabilities go down towards around 60%. Like, could it hit that level and drop? Yes. But more times than not, you will see it attempt to break that level and it may just chop around a little bit, right? So again, the probabilities go down substantially. First trade is always the best trade. The second trade still could be good, right? But just understand that the probabilities go down substantially from around 80% to 60%. So with that being said, if you're looking to take that trade again, if it comes back up to that level, can you just simply take it off that level like we took it here? No, we took it here solely off that level because that was the first time hitting that key level, 80% probabilities. If we know that if we come back up to that level, we're sitting at 60% probabilities, what do we need to do? We need to re-increase our probabilities. How do we re-increase our probabilities on this trade? Hypothetically, if it comes back up to that level, you have a 60% chance that it actually hits it, stays below it, and drops. How do we push that 60% back up to 80%? What do we have to do? We can't just take this trade here at resistance. I mean, you can, but we're not going to because the probabilities are 60%. How do we go from 60% back to an 80% probable setup? What do we need to do at this level? Good answer. Add another reason, right? Have multiple separate reasons to take a trade, right? I have another reason. Confluence, right? That's what we say. It's confluence. Have multiple separate reasons to take a trade. So now if this was coming into, say, a downtrend, let's say there was a downtrend here as well. Now you could say, hey, we got 70% probabilities because now we have a downtrend. right? Let's say it's also cracking an uptrend as well, for example. Okay, well, that's another intraday piece of confirmation that'll push you back up to 80%. So, right here, off that level, the first time it hits it, we know that there's an 80% probability chance that it hits that level, gets rejected, and drops. That's why we took that trade off that level. Coming back up to it for the second time, we know that the probabilities go from 80% to 60%. So, in order to feel very confident to take this trade, we need confluence, multiple separate reasons to take that trade. Like I said, if it's you got a fib extension, fib retracement, uptrend crack, downtrend rejection, whatever, you have multiple separate reasons to take that trade. Every additional reason you have will increase your probabilities just a little bit more, going from 60% back to 70%, maybe back up to 80%, depending on how many separate reasons you have to take the trade. So 100%, you need multiple separate reasons at that level to get right back in. You can't just get in off that level because, again, your probabilities are too low. And we only want to trade those 80% probable setups. Those are what we're focused on. Trade setups, strategies that have 80% probabilities of working in our favor. Anything less than 80%, I need confluence. I need multiple separate reasons to get back up to that 80%. Does that make sense? So we actually did have more confirmation too, guys. You're right. I completely forgot. Not only were we topping out, rolling over off that level, we had confirmation with the SPY dropping. We had confirmation with the Qs hitting that downtrend, dropping as well. So that was actually added confirmation. The SPY and the Qs were dropping. We knew that that would pull back Amazon as well. So honestly, the probabilities were solid, 80% plus, because we had confirmation within the SPY and the Qs as well. Makes a lot of sense? Perfect. That's what I'm all about. As long as it makes sense. I'm not going to give you a half-ass answer and just say no. I'm going to give you the full breakdown and explain why. And that's why. All right, let's look at the Qs. Where did the Qs hit high a day before dropping off the downtrend from yesterday? Downtrend, third point, got rejected, dump. So there's a downtrend that worked. Okay. If you know how to draw the best trend lines and you know how to trade trend lines, they are profitable strategies. You can use trend lines. The reason why traders don't see success with trend lines because this is what the typical trader does. Here's a downtrend. Here's a downtrend. Here's an uptrend. Here's a downtrend. Here's another trend line right here. Here's another one right here. I mean, this is what your typical retail trader does. They got all these stupid freaking trend lines all over the place. No wonder it doesn't work. No wonder it doesn't work. These aren't high probability trend lines. And then on top of it, they don't know how to trade around trend lines. There is a strategy around trading a trend line. It's the third point of a downtrend, and it has to be a key downtrend. These aren't key trend lines. These are trend lines that will not be respected 80% of the time. You will not see profitability if you're trading like this, right? These aren't key trend lines. These aren't high probable trend lines. You find the highest probability trend line, wait for the third point, you get short. Here's the Qs. Point 1, point 2. Today, hitting a point 3, getting rejected, profitable trade based off of a trend line because we know that this is a significant trend line. Okay. And we know that how we trade these point 3 only. I can show you a million examples of trend lines being respected. I mean, Matt, one of our coaches, that's all he does is he trades trend lines. 80% of his trades are trend line based trades. He makes multiple six figures trading trend lines. So to tell me that trend lines don't work is silly. Trend lines work 100%. Matt makes multiple six figures a year trading, and primarily his main strategy is 0.3 of a trend line, and he crushes it. So yeah, there's more to trading than just liquidity sweeps and order blocks and fair value gaps. So there's multiple ways to trade, and as long as you know how to trade and it works for you, that's all that matters. Again, it comes down to how do you identify the trend line and how do you trade off the trend line. If you can't identify a good trend line and you trade them incorrectly, well, of course, they're not going to work. But if you know how to draw them correctly and you know strategies around them, then hey, you can be very profitable. I mean, here's another great example of Tesla. We had a trend line drawn. We never took 0.3 of the trend line. We're actually looking for a trend line crack. But here's a 0.1. Here's a 0.2. There's 0.3. Big pop up. Nice trade. Lower high. Crack of the trend line on 0.4 is a valid short. Well, would you look at that? Valid short off that lower high, cracking the trend line on 0.4. So again, like I'm saying, guys, fair value gaps. It's a fine way of trading. Liquidity sweeps and order blocks and whatever. Like you can trade however you want, as long as it's profitable, right? As long as the data backs up your trades, that's all that matters. There's no right way to trade, right? There's 1,000 different ways that you can trade the market. As long as your way of trading is proven to work based on the data, that's all that matters. Fair value gaps and liquidity sweeps are a good way of trading, but it's not the only way to trade, and it's not the best way to trade. It's a way of trading that works based on data, right? 0.3 of an uptrend, if done correctly, based on data, works. It's profitable. Lower high, crack of a trend line on 0.4, based on data, is profitable. Okay, there are thousands of strategies based on data that are profitable if executed correctly. It's not just all about smart money concepts. Okay, that is a great way of trading. It's profitable. It's been proven to work based on data. Same thing with trend lines. That's what I'm trying to stress is there's no right way to trade. There's only your way to trade. And your way of trading is based on data. And so based on data, I trade off trend lines very strategically. Based on data, I trade off higher time frame key levels of support resistance paired with intraday price action and volume. Based on data, that works. And that's all that matters is as long as your way of trading works and you can back it up and prove that it works based on data, that's your edge. That's how you trade. That's what makes you money. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Regardless of anybody else, anything else, that's what works. Stick with it. Make it happen. Yeah, I don't really see anything else right now. SPY's probably going to be choppy leading up to FOMC minutes, right? QQQ, same thing, leading up to FOMC minutes, maybe a little bit choppy. Because it works. That's the last thing I'm going to say about, strategies and ways of trading pertaining to trend lines. So why would I? Because it works based on data. That's it, man. That's all I can say. Based on years of data and thousands of trades logged, that strategy around a trend line works consistently and I'm profitable. I've taught that to my team. They trade it consistently and they're profitable. So that's all that really matters, right? Because it's been proven to work based on data, Caleb. That's all I can say. Smart money concepts has been proven to work based on data. Okay. It's a great way of trading. Okay. I can sit there and pick it apart and tell you everything wrong with it, but I'm not going to because it's been based on data. It's been proven to work. And that's all that matters. Right. Same thing with trend lines. It's been proven to work based on data. That's all that matters. That's all I can say, man. Agree to disagree. What made me take the trade on Tesla? Higher time frame level paired with intraday price action. So Tesla, yesterday's low of day Yesterday's close, that's our zone of resistance. So if Tesla comes up into that daily zone of resistance paired with intraday price action, I'll take the trade. So here's Tesla ripping on up. Green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, red candle, right in our zone. Price action, volume, daily level. Okay. Daily level hit, intraday price action, intraday rejection, intraday confirmation to take puts. Dollar plus move to the downside. So that was the reasoning for the trade. It came into my daily level. We had confirmed intraday price action. We dropped off that level to the penny after we saw 6 green candles straight up into our level of resistance paired with intraday confirmation and volume. Nice little drop on off. Yeah, man. Absolutely, dude. Exactly, Caleb. You got to be patient, man. For any strategy in the market to work, you got to be patient. Right? Amazon, right? My strategy, my edge was to get short at 137.25. I had to wait nearly an hour for this trade to come to me, give me confirmation to play puts, right? It all came down to patience. I could have taken it here and won. I could have taken it here and won, but this was not the highest probability entry with the least amount of risk. This was the highest probability entry with the least amount of risk. So I had to be very patient and wait for Amazon to come to me, which I did. And that resulted in about $250 of profit. And we took it straight down for about, 50 to 75 cents of profit along this drop. You made 100% on the Tesla trade, that lower high crack of the trend line. Good stuff. That was another great trade. I took it here. I missed the first trade, got confirmation here within the SPY and the Qs as well. We took it down into the trend line, got out, and then we were looking for a lower high crack of the trend line on Tesla right here to get short. Really nice short on Tesla based off this trend line crack. And that trend line crack was occurring at that zone of resistance as well. So that was another thing. We were cracking back below that support level, right? Because this is resistance, we drop, resistance, we drop. We get above resistance, we see it turn support. So that resistance level that was turning support, we ended up cracking back below it and the trend line. That was confirmation. So if you guys have any other questions inside of chat, let me know. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. I do have to leave a little bit early today. We're getting things wrapped up and squared away with our home, and we're moving soon. So there's just a few things that I need to ideally get taken care of today, which is going to take a lot of time. So we're going to just wrap it up maybe 20 minutes early today. So if you guys have any final questions, just go ahead and let me know. No. So for example, Amazon is coming into this level of resistance. And I know that Amazon today is moving in conjunction with the SPY and the Qs. We see a lot of similarities, right? SPY's ripping on up, Qs kind of chopping, but overall getting a nice little move here. And we can see that Amazon, to a certain extent, is moving kind of similar to like the SPY and the Qs, more or less the Qs, right? So I'm like, Amazon's coming into resistance. That's where I want to get short, but I also want to make sure that the SPY and the Qs look weak. If I'm going to get short Amazon, but the SPY and the Qs look like they're going to break and move higher, I'm probably going to pass on this trade because Amazon will probably break and move higher as well and correlate with the broader market, such as the SPY and the Qs. So I would pass on that trade. So I want to go look at the SPY and the Qs. That trade took place right at 1022. So I just want to go reference the SPY and the Qs to make sure they don't look bullish. If I'm bearish on Amazon, I also want to see some bearishness, say on the SPY and the Qs on a day like today. So I'm going to go reference the SPY and the Qs. And again, I'm looking for this trade right around 1022. Where are the Qs sitting at at 1022. The Qs came into that downtrend from yesterday, and the Qs are starting to top out, looking weak. So the Qs look like there's room to the downside, right? Take a look at the SPY at 1022. The SPY's topping out at resistance, starting to roll on over, also suggesting room to the downside. That gave me added confirmation that Amazon can stay below that level and also drop to the downside. So does that make sense? I'm just looking at the SPY, making sure that we're not pushing and breaking on up. We look weak, room to the downside. That's great. Qs. Hitting a key level of resistance, getting rejected, topping out, rolling on over, confirmation to the downside. I feel great to go ahead and take Amazon puts at this level. But if I would notice that the SPY is ripping into a new high a day, I notice the Qs are breaking this downtrend and ripping into a new high a day, I'm probably going to pass on Amazon, knowing Amazon will probably try and break through that level of resistance. So I don't want to be short. I just want to wait, and I want to sit on my hands. So that's what I mean by getting some extra confirmation based on what the SPY and the Qs are doing. David, I really like how you teach. Thank you. Yeah, man. Absolutely. I don't know why I'm good at it, but I guess I'm really good at it. Years and years of feedback from you guys. I guess I'm good at teaching this. So never thought I was going to be someone that would coach other people. I just wanted to do this for myself, but I ended up being pretty good at coaching. So, and I love it too. I like helping people make money and actually figuring this out, man, and not struggling. I struggled for 4 years, man. I know the feeling. It sucks. If I can teach people and help them not struggle, like I'm all about it. It's a wonderful feeling. It's great. So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up, guys. I have, again, a lot to do today. I do appreciate it. Plus, I need to get this computer figured out for tomorrow and kind of see what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the sesh, guys. The live stream may be down for maybe like 30 minutes or so as I'm trying to fix my PC. It will come back up. You guys are good to go. You'll have your scanners. And then we'll be back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for Thursday trading, baby. So far, so good this week. And keep up the amazing work. I mean, we had some really nice profits inside of Profit Chat today. You got Joe locking in 177 on those trades. Tesla, Amazon, he took some square as well. William, Johnny, Dustin, Felicia, Johnny, Hunter, Anthony, Catherine. Woo! Anthony locking in some great profits. Good job today, traders. Good work. And I'll go ahead and get my P&L up for the day. It was a good day, guys. Good job. Some really solid profits, really solid work. So, William, so when you see a stock following another so closely in a short time frame, would you just trade on that? No. No. So, for example, if I notice that the SPY and Amazon are moving exactly the same, would I solely base a trade on Amazon solely around the fact that it's following the SPY? No. Confluence. Yep. And so I wouldn't just trade based on that alone. There would have to be an independent reason on the stock to take a trade as well. So Amazon, there was a reason on Amazon to take a trade that had nothing to do with the SPY and the Qs. But the fact that we saw similar movements within the SPY and the Qs was great confirmation. But would I have taken a short on Amazon just because the SPY and the Qs looking weak? I would not. There would have to be a reason on that stock to actually take a trade, but to give you that extra confirmation to have confluence, looking at the SPY and the Qs and seeing very tight, similar movements does help, and it does increase your probabilities. So to answer your question, I would not just trade on that. There would have to be a solid reason on the stock to get in. And based on the example would be Amazon. There was a solid reason on Amazon to pull the trigger short, but we also had confirmation with the SPY and the Qs as well. All right, guys. And William, great questions, by the way. One thing I want to point out is, William, you have questions every single freaking day. I love it, right? And they're great questions, right? Some of them are super simple questions, right? Some of them are pretty advanced topics. I mean, you're not shy. You're showing up. You don't have the mindset of, I don't want to ask a question because it might be stupid. No, there's no such thing as a stupid question, right? I love how you're showing up. You're engaging every day. You're asking so many questions, and it gives us great topics to discuss and talk about. So, William, just want to say I appreciate it. And that goes for everybody as well. There's a lot of other traders inside of chat that are showing up, engaging, asking questions. It really means a lot because it allows us to help you guys move the needle. So keep showing up, keep engaging, keep asking these amazing questions. I absolutely, absolutely love it. All right, guys. So that's a wrap. Good job. Good work. Quite a few winners today. A couple on the SPY, a couple on Tesla, one on Amazon. Overall, it was an amazing day. And the profits show for it, guys. You guys locked in some amazing profits. Keep up the good work and keep making me proud, guys. You guys are absolutely on fire. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Stay blessed. And I'll see you guys back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Early bird, get in the warm, baby. Be here in the morning. Let's rock and roll. Let's have some fun. And let's have another amazing day in the market tomorrow. Let's end it with a big O. Alpha Day Trading. 3, 2, 1. Woo! And that's a wrap. You guys better hit me with a big old woo right now as we wrap up our session. Again, good job and good work. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Trade smart and trade safe, guys. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Drop me a question inside of chat. Shoot me a DM. I'm always here to help. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Stay blessed. And I'll see you guys back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Instant egg rolls. Yeah, man. Absolutely. I'm glad I could help. Just so you guys know, too, there's one seat left. I thought both seats were taken yesterday for the 50% off. There's actually one seat left. If anybody's here yesterday that was trying to join, there's one seat left. So if you guys want it, I'll reopen that link for somebody that wants it, and you guys can get the ball rolling. So if you want that 50% off and you guys want to jump into the community and really start moving the needle forward, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I'll go ahead and reactivate the link for you right now. Let you guys go ahead and get that locked in. And then, yeah, we're all set. Maybe here in a couple of months, we have another time to drop some kind of incentive for you guys. So, yeah, so let me go ahead and reactivate the link for one more seat because we have one more seat that needs to be taken. So, link is in the bio. So link in my bio here on TikTok. Go down to where it says today only, 50% off. Click the link. Go ahead and type in the coupon ADT50. That takes it down substantially. That's going to give you 12 months of access to the program, to the platform, to the coaching, the community, the courses, the training vault, the tools, the software, the scanners. I mean, everything for the next 12 months. So if you guys want it, links in the bio. Use ADT50 as the coupon. We got one seat left, and I want that seat gone. We had 7 seats taken last Thursday. We had 2 seats taken yesterday, I think, and we got 1 left, and I want the 10 seats gone. So if you guys want it, it's all yours. And if you have any questions about what it entails, all you guys have to do is just go over to alphadaytrading.com. Well, this is the platform, but if you guys go to alphadaytrading.com, all right, you can just check us out. Go to the memberships tab, check out Alpha University, what it entails, normal pricing, what it's currently discounted to, but you're getting an additional 50% off of this. So this has already dropped substantially right off the rip until the end of the year. Right now, the second, that extra 50% off comes off the 1433. So it drops it down to like 7. Again, everything you can see here that's included. If you scroll down, you see everything under Alpha University, all the courses, all the chat rooms, the live stream access, the scanners, the vaults, the trading tools. Just check everything out, see what it entails. If you guys want, you guys can go over and check out the platform. You guys will be locked out, right? It will be because you guys will be logged out. So it will look something like this, right? Where it says log in at the top. So like when you go check out the platform, you won't have credentials, so you can't log in. So everything will be restricted. But again, at least you can check everything out: the chat rooms, the live sessions, the streams, the courses, the vaults, the trading tools that we have. So yeah, you guys are all set, guys. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and click that link in my bio, use that coupon ADT50, and you are all set, ready to rock. And that'll be the final seat. One thing I want to point out about Michael Burry, right, and his whole, what is it, over $1 billion puts against the SPY and the Qs. One thing I'll say is that was his Q2 filing release, right? So that was what took place April, May, June. Okay. It's freaking August 16th. It's been 45 days since he issued the filing. We just got it, that he put on over $1 billion worth of bets to short the market in the form of put contracts. It's been 45 days. He could have already closed those trades, those positions, and you won't know until what? October? You won't even know until October when his next filing comes out. So it's like, yeah, it's cool and all that he's, over $1 billion short in the market, but who's to say that that position's still open? Maybe it's already been closed, right? One other thing to note about Michael Burry is he's a genius. He's smart, right? But he's usually early. That's it. He's usually early. He was almost a year early back in 2008, and he took a lot of heat, right? But he was eventually correct. Back in the early 2000s, same thing. He was pretty early, but he was right. So right now, if he's expecting the market to dump like that, he's probably a year early, right? And who's to say that he's still in those puts? Maybe that position has already been closed. You never know. And we won't know until October on his next filing. So again, you're still 45 days behind, and that's 45 days. He could have made a decision and already closed that position. We have no idea, and you won't know till come October. So, and who knows, man? Maybe the mainstream media is taking that piece and taking that article and pushing it hard to get the typical emotional retail trader to chase the crap out of put contracts, right? Just to drive the market up and wipe out retail. And again, mainstream media is pushing that Michael Burry narrative. You see it flowing around. That's the talk of the town. And so what do you think people are going to do? Well, that's Michael Burry. He called the recession in 2008. He put on $1 billion worth of puts. He's got to be right. Let's just jump on in and YOLO my account into puts. And then you watch the market rip up 2 points and then you just get destroyed. Again, I don't know. I'm speculating hard with that. But like I said, we're probably 45 days late. There's 45 days he could have made a decision. That position could be closed. We have no freaking idea. And the biggest thing is he's always early. So don't base trades solely off what one person's doing. Maybe he can lose $1 billion because he's still got $10 billion in cash. If you YOLO your entire account, that's all you got. This dude's super wealthy. Yeah, he put on $1 billion short, but who's to say the dude doesn't manage $20 billion worth of, assets? Again, you just don't know. He's in a different position. Don't base a trade off anybody or anything. Have your own reasons to take trades. That's it. That could be a reason to take a trade, but you need multiple reasons to take a trade. Let's be real. If we start to see the market rolling on over, we'll see it. If the market's going to drop, we'll see it coming, right? We'll see the VIX spiking back up over 20 to 25, right? We'll see the VIX start to spike on up, right? Probably see the dollar index continue to grind higher, right? You'll see red flags within the chart alone that now is the time for puts, okay? But right now, I don't think it's the time to load up the boat with put contracts. I still think there's a little bit of time to go before we actually see the market drop on off with that kind of volatility and that much, force. So That would be my 2 cents. Am I simply loading the boat with puts because Michael Burry? No. But I'm observing, I'm watching the market, and if I ever start to see signs that the market's going to start rolling on over, yeah, I may consider jumping into some puts for the next leg down in the market. But I'm not solely going to base a trading decision based on one person's decision when that person is typically way too early and the dude has multiple billions of dollars under management. He could probably afford to lose 500 million and it not phase him. So yeah, links in the bio. And again, if you guys are joining today, coupon is ADT50. We got 1 seat left for the 50% off. Whoever takes it, takes it. But after today, it will go away. If the seat's not taken after today, that 50% goes bye-bye. So if you guys want it, it's yours. You have it. Links in the bio. Coupon ADT50. You guys are all set. All right, have a good one, guys. I got to jump and start rocking and rolling with a few things. So have a good one today. Good job in the market. And I'll catch you guys back here on the Tickety Talk tomorrow morning, 8:15. Have a good one, guys. Have a blessed day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, Mike, ended up finding your email in my spam folder. Period. Sorry for the delay. Period. I know you had signed up to extend your membership with the offer we were running. Period.